welcome back to our second interview we're doing here with the Westman Regional Soccer Association. So we have Sydney, Kendra, and Mackenzie, who are all part of the elite WRSA Morning Program in the region, as well as the REX program in Winnipeg. Girls, we're starting now.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, now that we've got their attention, yeah, you guys want to introduce yourself and maybe just a quick little blurb about you guys, if you start with yourself there, Kendra.
I'm Kendra, and that's my twin Sydney, the blonde one. Yeah. I started playing soccer when I was really young, about 4, I think, as young as you can start, and I don't think I've stopped since.
Awesome, thank you. Mac or Sydney, go ahead.
So my story is like the exact same as Kendra's. It seems that I'm her twin. But yeah, I started playing soccer when I was 4, and I've loved it and kept playing.
I'm Mackenzie, and I started playing soccer when I was 4 as well. And then I just kept playing up until now. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Exciting.
Exhilarating. So, yeah, as we were saying, these two obviously started with Brandon Youth Soccer as they lived in Brandon, moved into the Westman FC programming when they were able, playing in the Winnipeg League, have been added to the Westman Regional Soccer Association's morning program, which we'll tell you a bit more about. It's an invite-only program that runs in the mornings before school, and now are part of the REX program through Manitoba Soccer and the Vancouver Whitecaps. So just a bit of an interview here with them on their journeys in programming, and to help you learn more about the player pathway on the competitive side of the programming. So Sydney, starting with yourself there, can you tell us about the WRSA Elite Morning Program that you participated in this last school year?
Yeah, so basically the program, it's an invite-only program running Tuesday, Thursday mornings. It's a boys and girls program, probably 12 to about 17. And it's in the mornings. It's a higher pace program, and I'd say that it really helped me overall.
Okay, so thank you. How do you feel it's helped you as a player?
Well, for sure, it's helped me a lot, so I can continue playing the REX program, like seeing as I don't have to drive to Winnipeg for every practice. I can stay in Brandon, but it's also helped me to play with some university players, so some higher performance players, so I can continue to better my skills.
Awesome. So that program is twice a week in the mornings there, and how do you feel about going before school?
I like going before school so I can have most of my evenings free, and I feel like I'm more awake for school, like if I'm being honest, and yeah.
Okay, that makes one of us that loves the mornings. Thank you for sharing that. Kendra, if we move on to yourself now, can you tell us a little bit about the REX program? So some of the same information Sydney gave, but in relation to the REX, and how many times a week and that kind of stuff?
Sure. So it's again a 12 to 17 program, both guys and girls, and it's a super competitive environment, but it's still really fun. So it's Tuesday to Thursday, or Tuesday to Friday morning training, so before school, and then there's games every week with like a grow room session, so basically like a classroom session, and then strength and conditioning twice a week. So yes.
Awesome. So that obviously takes place in Winnipeg, and kind of what Sydney was referring to is the morning programs here have helped complement that a little bit, so you're not in Winnipeg obviously 5 days a week during the week.
Yeah.
Right? How do you feel? And obviously the REX program is invite only throughout the province, and how many girls aged 13 to 17 would there be in the REX program?
I don't know, like 18 maybe at the most.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think there's about 18 to 20, and that's from the whole province from the ages of 13 to 17. There's about 18 to 20 players throughout that whole age range, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And how do you feel that has helped or kind of challenged you, or how have you grown as a player in being in that program for the first time this last year?
Well, being in Rex has challenged me in all four corners of the game, so physical, mental, technical, and tactical. And I think that I've grown in all of that. It's again, as I said, a super competitive environment, but it makes you grow and learn as a player too.
So what's been your favorite thing about the Rex?
Probably games every week against the boys.
Okay, so who do you guys play? You guys train 4 mornings a week, have a grow room session one morning, and play one night a week. Who do you guys kind of play against, and why do you find those so valuable, or why are they your favorite?
Well, we play against guys team, so we're ranging from 13 to 17 team, and we usually play U13 boys teams. I find that helpful because they're fast and strong, and they're super good, and we it challenges us a lot, and it gives us a change from always playing girls all the time. It gives us a different point of view.
Awesome, fantastic. So as we move into a question for Mackenzie here, I'm sure she's dying to start talking. So, you know, all three of, as the Rex program is tied into the Whitecaps, and kind of a pathway to the youth national team camps as well. Part of being involved in those programs is potentially opportunities to attend Whitecaps combines or different things like that in Vancouver. I know in the last year, all three of you have attended. Mackenzie, you went for a combine group, which was a year ago or so, and it was U13 team, correct?
Yep.
And it was a U13 team they took from Manitoba, and you guys played other Whitecaps kind of center teams from across the country, right? And Sydney and Kendra, you guys went in November last year, I believe, and it was out of Rex, they took about 8 girls from Rex, and the 2 of you were selected for that. Mac was selected for the one before that, and you know, being in with the top players from around the country that are participating in the Whitecap programming like that. Mac, can you tell us a little bit about your experience there?
So it was really, really fun getting to know some of the girls that I'm in Rex with right now. I got to know them better on that trip. And I also got to make some new friends from like other provinces. So that was really cool. And the soccer there was a lot higher like intensity and level than what I was used to. So that was really fun getting to like play up at that kind of level. And then it was also super helpful getting all the different like coaching points from all the different coaches there. And
Awesome.
yeah, it was just really, really fun.
Awesome. So Kendra, back to you there. Was it intimidating being in a professional environment like Mac talked about there, and you know, being with the best players from around the country? And how did you kind of overcome that if it was a little intimidating at first?
Well, it was intimidating. Well, for me, partially because I felt that because I was from Brandon and me and Sydney were we're the only 2 from Westman and one of about 4 05s from Manitoba. Being there, I felt like we weren't like at that level. But once I realized that we were at that level too, then I kind of just settled in. But I think also one thing that really helped me was just like making friends there. Because like once you were friends off the field, you were like friends on the field, and you just got more chemistry there. One of my favorite parts that really helped with that was as soon as we got there, I think all 60 of us, we just met in a room and we played minute to win it games.
Cool.
Pretty good.
Awesome. Sydney, what did you take from that experience in Vancouver?
I learned a lot of different things, but for sure the one thing that I would take back, like the main thing would be the pace is so much higher. And like now I know that the level I need to be at to compete at that level and how hard I need to work to get there. But also I learned what can be after that. So like the Super Rex program in BC for like the national team and stuff, like those are goals we can set if we want to make it. So
awesome. So kind of moving into that, that's a good you know, gateway into the next question for Mackenzie there is, based on, Mac, what you've seen in a professional environment like that in Vancouver and experiencing that, and how long you've been playing soccer and how much you enjoy it, what are kind of your future goals in soccer?
Okay, so like hopefully I want to continue with the Rex as long as I can and train with our Brandon team as long as I can too. And then eventually once I reach grade 12 and can't do Rex anymore, I want to like get into a very good university and play soccer there and then just see where that takes me.
Awesome. Cool. And Kendra, how much for some of the ones wondering and you know, being in the morning program in Westman here and seeing some of the other players that are some of the top players in the region along with yourselves, is I think you're starting to see that they could also have a potential opportunity for some of these things coming up in the future. And if some of them are looking for advice or information on how they can continue to improve, you know, how long or how often did you used to practice on your own or technical things and stuff like that at home in order to get to that level and be prepared for something as quick paced as the games in Vancouver?
I practiced a lot, but still not enough. Like, everybody can still get better. So, like,
That's such a Kendra answer.
so like many hours a week, like above and beyond practice. Me and Sydney usually train together because we live together. But we usually did, I think, beast mode was one of our main go-tos. Just playing with.
So that's like an online kind of app, and it like, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's basically this guy, and he's built this like program where he just does a whole bunch of drills and you can basically just follow it. So we did like lots of his drills just over and over and over again.
Awesome. So how often did you think you said you'd maybe do that? Like a few days a week, or what do you think?
It really depended on the season, so how many times we practiced, but yeah, like a few days a week, like whether that's in the mornings or after school.
Our thing was getting up before school and doing it.
Oh, okay, so you guys
it's out
did
of the
it
way.
a few days a week before school, and then would have your evenings free or would practice with your teams in the evenings or whatever?
Yeah.
Cool. So besides the beast mode, like we just talked about, Sid, is there, if a younger player is approaching you now that, you know, you've taken some coaching courses now and are looking at helping coach and that kind of stuff, you know, if they're approaching you and wanting to improve some of their skills, what would you suggest they do?
Well, my main thing was also beast mode, believe it or not, but I would say mostly just after practice, if there's anything that you find hard or that you need to work on, you could ask your coach and get like his or her point of view and ask and then they can help you. But just mainly putting in extra time like after practice would be the best thing to help you like get from here to here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for those ones that are maybe shy to ask the coach or talk to the coach or feel it's an inconvenience for the coach, what would you suggest to them? And did you guys always find it easy to ask the coach for stuff like that?
I found it pretty easy because I had a pretty good relationship with my coaches, but for some people that don't have that kind of relationship, like my thing was I wasn't as comfortable on the ball, so I just needed to practice and practice to get like my touch better and get it so I was comfortable handling the ball well on the field.
And like the things you do at home, they don't have to be complicated. Like just get the touch on the ball.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So a question for kind of all three of you before we end off here is, you guys have talked about, you know, improving that stuff on your own and talking about how the pace is a lot higher in Vancouver and talking about, you know, wanting to potentially keep moving up in different national team camps or Super REX or more invites to Vancouver, university soccer you guys have talked about. What do you guys feel is the biggest difference as you step up to another level? So whether it's moving up age groups, whether it's community stream to Westman FC, whether it's our morning program to the REX program or to the competitions in Vancouver, what do you guys feel is the most important thing or most critical when you're moving up to a different level?
Well, for me, I think it's like the professionalism is super duper, like you just have to like, I don't know how to say it, be more mature kind of.
Okay.
Because like Yeah, and just the intensity too. Just
Awesome.
go.
Good. That's a good one.
Mine is like sacrifice and time management, because when you move up to higher levels, you're gonna have to sacrifice more time and everything, and like more resources.
For sure.
And then for time management, also, like, since you're gonna be practicing more and training more, you're gonna need to know how to balance school and if you're working, work, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really good point as well, especially leading into university. For both of you guys there, the professionalism and that stuff, and the time management.
And I think mine would be, well, all of those things, but a little bit more on the mental side of things. Like, just don't like beat yourself up, or don't like just quit once you think something's too hard, and just like stay like happy and be like positive. Don't just be like, oh, that sucks.
Awesome. No, that's awesome. Do the three of you guys have anything else, we didn't talk about that you'd like to share, or any stories from any of those trips or anything you'd like to share? Anything I missed?
Just if you do get the opportunities to go on that trips, don't hide in the shadows. Just make yourself known.
Awesome. Sydney, anything to add?
Be proud of your accomplishments, I guess. I don't know, that's about it.
That's a good one. Okay. Well, thank you girls for joining us. We really appreciated having you. So hopefully you guys can get back on the field here soon with your team and continue competing with them, because I know you guys have worked hard for it. So thank you guys for joining us, and hopefully we can see you on the field soon.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.